Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about rhythmic strumming, which is something that you are going to be using regardless of what style you play on the guitar. Even after being a guitarist for 15 years, I find that most of the time I find myself strumming chords because it's just so common. So today we're going to talk about the most efficient way to do that and the way that sounds the best. The first thing I would like to talk about is the fact that there's a difference between technique and musicality. So some of the strumming we're going to do today is going to be really easy, and some of it's going to be pretty difficult. But that doesn't necessarily mean one is more musical than the other. Every single strum pattern on the page that's attached to this video is used a lot in music. I use them a lot personally, and you can make them sound really good whether or not they're easy or difficult. Okay. So we're going to start off by just going through the chords that I have on the page. I'm going to do the chord progression from A minor to F major 7, C, G, and if this G is too difficult for you with a pinky, you can take your pinky off and just do a G6. Okay. And again, if you're unfamiliar with these chords, then I'm going to have you do a different technique here in a second. You'll still be able to work on your strumming. So let's look at the very first strum. It says basic strumming in 4. The very first strum is just 4 downs. So there's 3 different ways that you can prepare to learn a new strum pattern. The first one is to vocalize the numbers that are associated with each beat. So for this one, it would just be simply saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second thing you can do in combination with that is tapping the rhythm on your guitar like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then lastly, we can do right hand isolations, and that's where we lightly touch the strings over here with our left hand, so that we get no sound as we strum, and we can do that strum pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if today during the lesson you feel like your knowledge of these chords is holding you back, then just mute the strings over here and just do right hand isolations the whole time. You'll still get the benefit of this lesson. Okay, so whenever we have a very simple strum pattern like this first one on your page, it's really important that we use our accents. And when we're dealing with a 4-beat strum pattern like this, we always want to accent beats 1 and beats 3. So that'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What makes this unique is the fact that it makes it sound so much more musical. So if I played them all the same, it would sound like this. Which is pretty boring. It sounds good, it's rhythmically correct, but if I accent beats 1 and 3, and I de-emphasize beats 2 and 4, it sounds like this. Okay, so try that on some of your songs. Strum pattern number 2 on the second line is going to be when we add an up for decoration. So the 4 downs are always going to be in the same spot, and we always call them 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in between each one of those beats, we can add an up. So what I did for the second strum pattern is I added an up after beat 4. So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up. Okay, I'm going to do that once with left hand, with a right hand isolation. For those of you who that's helping, 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up. At this point, you can add as many ups as you want to in your strum pattern. You can put an up after every single beat, or you can pick and choose. So in strum pattern number 3, I chose to add an up after beats 2, 3, and 4. So the new strum pattern sounds like this. 1, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 1, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up. With the chords, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so that's going to be all of our basic strumming in 4. And whenever I say something is in 4, I'm just saying that we're operating around 4 beats. So if you look at the next line, this is complex strumming in 4. And what this is this is when we remove one of our major beats. So we take out one of the downstrokes. In this case, we're removing beat 3. So this strum pattern is the exact same as the previous strum pattern, except for I'm going to take out beat 3. So it will now sound like this. 1, 2, up, up, 4, up, 1, 2, up, up, 4, up. On the guitar. Okay, so I'm also going to do the left hand isolation on this one or the right hand isolation, because this is so difficult. The part that's going to be the most difficult is to go up twice in a row. That feels very strange if you haven't already done it quite a bit. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, up, 4, up, 1, 2, up, 4, up. This is by far the most common strum pattern, and it's used in a lot of different songs. So if you can master this one, then you're well on your way to being able to strum through most of the most famous songs. I'm going to play that with the chords. 1, 2, ready, go. So when you have a more complex strum pattern like this, you don't have to focus as much on the accents. When we were using a first strum pattern that was very simple, it was all about the accenting and the de-emphasizing that we did. That's what made it sound really musical. But when we have a more complex pattern, we can get away with just playing the accurate rhythm and it sounds really good. So don't stress out too much about trying to accent certain beats. It will happen naturally. Okay, now let's look at the next section. This is called Basic Strumming in 3. Every once in a while we'll get a song that's in 3, operates around 3 beats. So in a basic strum there would be 3 downstrokes. So I'm going to do that first. It'll feel a little strange if you're used to playing in 4, but it's also good to know. So that will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you just have to change chords a little quicker, and to really get the feel of 3 and to make it sound really musical, you're going to accent beat 1. That will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Now, that is actually not as common in 3, but the next strum pattern in 3 is the most common. And that's where we add an upstroke after beats 2 and 3. So this one will sound like this. 1, 2, up, 3, up, 1, 2, up, 3, up. And if I do my right hand isolation, ready, go. 1, 2, up, 3, up. 1, 2, up, 3, up. So all together with the chords, it sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, just like we did in 4, you can pick and choose where you want to add the upstrokes. You can make up your own strum patterns, and you can even try some complex strum patterns where you totally take out one of the main downstrokes. I personally haven't seen that as much in 3, but it is a theoretical possibility, and it also could be something that you like and would like to add into one of your songs. So we're finished with this page, but there's a couple of other things you might see as you're strumming through a bunch of different songs. Occasionally there will be a song that is in 2. It operates around 2 beats. And so what you need to do in that case is just take the first half of a strum pattern in 4. For example, if I take the first half of the complex strumming pattern in 4, it just is down, down, up. 1, 2, up. And you can play that on each chord and you'd be playing in 2. You have to be able to change chords a little quicker to do that. The other thing you'll occasionally see is a song that's in 6. And if you have a song in 6, then you just play a strum pattern in 3 twice in a row. So I'll do the very last strum pattern on the page twice in a row on each chord. That way it feels like I'm in 6. 1, 2, up, 3, up, 4, 5, up, 6, up. Okay, so the last thing that I want you to know about, and we can talk about this more in your private lessons, is that we will sometimes have 2 measure strum patterns, and that's about as long as it gets for a strum pattern. And so what you would do in that case is you would just take 2 different strum patterns and alternate them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the very first strum pattern we did today, which was just 4 downs, and then I'm going to take the complex strumming pattern in 4, and I'm going to alternate them in 2 different ways. The first time I'm going to do both of them on each chord. Has a pretty cool effect. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change chords every 4 beats. So that means on each chord I'll be doing the next strum pattern. I'm going to be alternating between the same 2 patterns. 1, 2, ready, go. So these are some of the main possibilities that we can do with our strumming, and really there's a few other things that you can do, but for the most part this is a good overview of everything that you'll encounter as a rhythm guitar player. Again, this is an overview. If you need to rewind, go back and check anything out that you have questions about, and in January I'll be happy to talk about this stuff with you guys in your lessons if you have any questions about it. So thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great holiday season, and I'll see you in 2016. Bye.